What's up? What's up? Welcome back, Chosen fam. They crucified me, and they will crucify you too. That's a promise. Ooh, I keep forgetting that these new sunglasses are prescription. I don't need to put them over my regular glasses. Anyway, yeah. I wanted to talk about, this topic today. The topic of crucifixion and how my fellow chosen ones are going to be treated. And so I wanted to give my personal experience of, something that happened to me. Because I was wronged straight up. Like, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. Like, there is no way that you can take me out of the victim equation whenever it comes to this story. And I'm not the type of person that likes to victimize myself, or at least play victim. I'm not that guy. I don't like to be that person. I feel like it's kind of a pathetic thing to do. But stay tuned. For those who care to listen, come and listen. For those who don't care to listen, go ahead, sign off right now. So anyway, yeah, I still last year, I was working really hard to get a promotion at work, right? I was working in the sweet tart rope line, learning to cook the candy there, right? And I busted my rear end back there. I really did. I volunteered myself to go and start learning the line on my own. Nobody asked me to do it. I just kind of started learning on my own and kind of found my way into helping out there. And my work would actually give me bump up pay whenever I would go back there to help. At the same time, I was also, heavily involved in jiu-jitsu. I'm still involved in jiu-jitsu as much as I can be, but at the time was, quite a while before my twins were born, and I was just kind of like at it, like 100%, really training really hard. And I actually ended up, I remember I had a tournament and I lost. I remember that kind of hurt pretty bad. And that didn't have anything to do with, my fellow man crucifying me. But it definitely did some damage to me, because I know I really, really, really worked hard for that tournament. I know I really gave it my all. And whenever it came to game time, I actually choked that day. And I just didn't perform as well as I could have. And I know that really hurt. And not long after that, I was actually in practice, just rolling with the training partner, and I actually popped my MCL. I tore my meniscus. I tore my MCL. And did I go to a doctor right away? No, I didn't. I just dealt with it. I went to work. I continued on the sweet tart rope line, doing my best, and I had a torn freaking knee, and I was still just busting my rear end, to get the line working and actually speed up the changeovers. And I remember because this story, and the reason I wanted to bring it up is because it so closely relates to the story of Jesus. I'm not comparing myself to Jesus. I'm not saying that I am Christ, and that's not what I'm saying. But when you look at the story of how Christ was crucified, when you look at my own personal experience, it's like there's no questions about it that they line up ridiculously well. Because like I said, I was learning the sweet tart rope line, and everybody at my work, they were actually holy moly, Jonathan really stepped up. He's really doing it. It was almost like they were bravo. A lot of older ladies that were working there, everybody was talking very, very highly of me during that period of time. And it's just really interesting, because I really was giving it 100%, and I even blew my freaking knee out. Did I give up then? No, I just kept going at it, kept chopping away at it, and I improved the line in many ways, actually. And then I have had my little Judas, who was my buddy at the time, who was my homie. We got real tight. I've talked about the same person in other videos on how he is with his own personal relationships, and I've never agreed with that, but he was always good. He was good to me during the time, and he was always kind of a funny dude, so I always got along with him, and we kind of got tight for a period of time. But this is the same dude that basically credited himself for all of my hard work and more or less threw me under the bus at the end of the day for his stupid 20 shekels, right? So that was the way that guy was to me. But everybody at my work, it was like literally they were cheering me on. It was just like Jesus going into Jerusalem right before his crucifixion. Everybody was cheering him on. They were praising Jesus. They were calling him the king. Everybody loved him, right? And that's how it was for me during that time. Everybody was very much was looking at me very highly. And this is where it got really hurtful. Because what happened, because everybody knew that position was mine, including me. I knew it was mine. It was mine. I deserved it. I had earned it. I had done everything in my power to assure that once that position came up and I signed my name on that job bid, the position would be mine, because I was already trained. I knew the position really well. I improved the line several ways. I sped up the changeovers. Whenever we changed over from one product to another product, I sped that whole process up like a lot. And I even had a supervisor that would come up who worked there at the time, and he was like, "Jonathan, I love you, man. I love you." And I see now, it's like, no, you don't love me. You never loved me. You just said that because you profited off of my hard work. You got a promotion because I worked so hard and sped up those changeovers. So he never actually liked me. He just liked what I did for him. It's another theme with this Jesus thing where we're going, right? This is where it gets a little hard. It really, really gets a little hard to talk about this because it was so hurtful. Then this guy actually came into my work. A few people came into my work who were brand new employees. This one dude, who I have no issue with this man. Don't get me wrong, I have no issue, because he did the same thing anybody would do. If you got offered a promotion, of course you're going to be like, oh yeah, I'll take it. So I have no issue with the guy that came in. But this guy was brand new, had no experience on this line, and yet when the job bid came up, for some reason they gave it to him. They just straight up betrayed me, stabbed me in the back. No ifs, ands, buts about it, because they used and abused me like an Asian girl on a subway train. Sorry for the metaphor, but man, it was rough, man. I remember that broke me when they put him in the place where I was supposed to be. And actually there was another dude that was brand new, and they actually put him in the position as well. So both of these guys got the position over me, even though I was, fully trained. I knew the position front to back, but they went ahead and gave it to these two individuals. Straight up betrayal. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, because they're like, and everybody at my work knew it. That's the thing, is just like when Jesus was hung up on the cross and everybody was looking at him, crucifying him, saying, kill him, kill him. They all knew he was innocent. Everybody knew Jesus was innocent. They all knew he did nothing wrong. Just like everybody at my work knew I deserved that position. No ifs, ands, buts about it. They all knew I had earned it. They all knew it was mine. There's no one else that should have gotten that position other than me, and yet they gave it to two other people who were just straight up brand new to the company, who should have been starting at the bottom of the totem pole, and for some reason they went and shot them right up to the top, and literally to intentionally put it on display and rub it in my face. Just like how they murdered Jesus and attempted to put him on display to show him as an example, like, this is what will happen to you. But instead it started a 2,000-year revolution. Because when they did this to me, I wanted vengeance. I'm not going to lie. Like, it was really, really hard for me for a long time. I remember when that day hit, I remember stopping at like the liquor store right after work that day, and I don't remember what I got back, but I know I got more than a 6-pack. I know that started the beginning of a very, very hard period of my life because I had been dealing with disappointment after disappointment. Like I just couldn't win during that period in my life. And it was like, I understand like when you take a step back and you're like, oh, could I have tried just a little bit harder? But like in this situation, I was literally at the point where it's like, there's nothing else I could have done. And that was the only reason I ended up being able to forgive myself, is because I knew that there was nothing else that I could have done to change, what happened. I had done everything in my power to put myself in the best position possible, and yet it just didn't happen. So when it didn't happen, it was literally just getting stabbed through the heart. Like that was the feeling of, what I was going through. And I had actually gotten sober completely, like for quite a while. Like I wasn't drinking anything. I wasn't even smoking weed. I had quit cigarettes. I had been 3 years off of cigarettes. And then boom, like freaking whale harpoon straight through the heart is how they did me with it. They literally did me just like they did Jesus. They cheered him on, like, oh, he deserves it. He's the king. He's the best. Then I had my Judas, who went ahead and betrayed me and actually said stuff that wasn't even true. Basically made me out to be the bad guy because he's so insecure about himself and his own immorality that he wanted to bring me down. And then on top of it, it was like the Pharisees, or my supervisors, the leaders, straight up murdered my ass. Straight up crucified me and put me on display in front of everybody. Like, this is what will happen to you. And just like how Jesus is on display, so people could look at Christ and be like, you know what, I can be good, because the worst my oppressor could do is murder me and put me on display. And what happened when they murdered the dude who was standing up for his people and put him on display? It started a 2,000 plus year revolution. So it's like, Pharisees wouldn't dare do it again, because after they did it to Jesus, it was like it started an entire like conundrum of like crap for them. It just didn't go well for the Jews after that. And I mean nothing like prejudice or racist by that, but quite literally and historically speaking, after Jesus got murdered, it didn't go very well for the Jews after that. Not for a long, long time. So I'm not saying that they deserved it or whatever. I'm not trying to, stir the pot here or anything like that. That's not my intention. I'm just saying, what happened. But, man, they really got me. Like, they got me so hard where it literally, I'm still bitter about it. That's how much it hurt. Like, I'm still, like, this is over a year later, I'm still bitter about it. I still have resentment issues over it. And I've, like, really, really delved deep down into my heart to, like, forgive. And like I said, it's, like, day 3 of Lent here, so it's, like, I kind of have a lot, like, leaving my system, like, nicotine's leaving my system. Haven't had my normal dose of, weed. I actually haven't had any weed. So it's, like I'm kind of like getting a little like ready to just like blow up, basically. And yeah, it just like, holy crap. And while I was in that anger this morning, whenever I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, I was asking myself, like, what am I so mad about? Why am I so angry? And I was able to like actually self-reflect and look back at like what happened. I was like, I'm angry because I'm not as far as I know I could be. I'm not all I can be. I'm not all God sees me as. So that's what I'm so angry at, right? Really angry at myself, but where did that stem from? And I was able to trace that back and remember what was going on in my life at that time. And it's like, holy crap. Holy crap. Like they did me just like they did Jesus. Like it's like on paper, it is so freaking linear. It is so freaking parallel to the story And I might not give the best example explaining it, but like the parallel to what was happening in my life. And the story of Christ was just jaw-dropping. So, let me know a similar story in the comments, because I know you chosen ones have dealt with some of the same kinds of things, because a lot of you guys talk about the same things. Because I'm telling you, I promise you, if you're not careful, they will crucify you. Peace be with you.